when the world seemed to stop, we carry on, continue to dream and create. We don't just work with what we know. We innovate to adapt, so you can drive your career forward. We don't just make you feel welcome. We provide everyone an equal opportunity to succeed. We don't stop at just enough. We go extra to care and provide, so you can brave the world safely. Times aren't the same, but we've always been different. We are Concentrix. We dream different. We create different. Embrace different.
Elsevier Philippines provides quality services to all Relics Group divisions worldwide. It started its operations last 2010. As the business matured through the years, so does our company's vision and mission. Equipped with comprehensive training and leading technology, our vision is to be the center of excellence with uniquely branded culture, engaged talent, and leading technology. Our mission is to help customers gain insights and achieve results in faster, more effective ways. We support our business partners with services that deliver innovative solutions, superior outcomes, and exceptional customer experience which is aligned with our employee value proposition, valuing what matters to all our unique customers.
In 2014, we launched our employee value proposition, and that is valuing what matters. We value what matters to our employees by acknowledging that our professional, engaged, and fun people are at the heart of our success as an organization. We value customers by putting them in the center of everything that we do, helping them to gain insights and achieve results in faster and more effective ways. We value our stakeholders by providing them with services that deliver innovative solutions, superior outcomes, and exceptional customer experience.
We provide exceptional customer experience and contribute to help our organization become the center of excellence with uniquely branded culture, engaged talents, and leading technology. We value our people and customers. Their hard-won loyalty is important to us. We commit to provide our customers the quality service they deserve by having the passion for winning. We practice boundarylessness by making every experience uniquely REPH through teamwork and collaboration with our customers across different industries around the world. We promote customer focus by putting our customers in the center of every decision we make, and we continuously find innovative ways to exceed their expectations.
As we now fully embrace the challenge of creating an effortless customer experience, all of us here in Reed Elsevier Philippines, regardless of division or function, must contribute to improving the customer experience because everything we do impacts our customers. We all own the customer experience in every customer touchpoint and every step of our customer's journey. Our global CX vision is to provide our customers with an effortless customer experience. This depends on every one of us as REPH employees, as well as Relics team members. You are the customer experience.
Hello, I'm Vixie, the automated recruitment assistant of VXI Philippines. Do you want to know how to jumpstart an awesome career? Join VXI and be part of the International ICT Award 2019's Best Employer of the Year finalist, Best Company of the Year, Best Contact Center, Most Innovative Company of the Year for 2 years, Hall of Fame for Best Contact Center and BPO Company of the Year for 2017, 2018, and 2019. We are hiring account representatives for customer service, sales, and technical support. Find us in a site near you. Quezon City, Makati City, Mall of Asia, Pasay, Clark, Pampanga, and Davao City. Enjoy a competitive compensation package and industry best incentives. Apply via Facebook Messenger at VXIPH. Email us at careersph@vxi.com. Text your full name, location, and preferred interview schedule to 0917-777-5555 for Luzon and 0965-932-9745 or 0961-757-8361 for Davao. We can't wait to have you on the team soon. Apply now!
Good day and welcome back, schoolmates! Muling nagbabalik ang inyong paboritong online tambayan dito sa ating pamantasan.
Magkakatid ka naman ng everything you have to know. Ako si El.
Tampok ang mga nakaka-proud at uwarang PUPians. Ako naman si Sir Dennis.
At muli niyo kaming makakasama dito sa
Pinakausap-usapan sa pamantasan! Ano ba yan, Ma'am Yen? Bakit dadalawa na lang tayo?
Alam mo, Sir Dennis, huwag kang malungkot. Kasi may inimbitahan ako ngayong freshie na makakasama natin ngayong episode na to.
Talaga lang ha, freshie ha. Sige nga, introduce mo.
Ito, ipapakilala ko na sa sir. Let's all welcome Nina si Tera!
Wow! What's up, freshie? Hello!
Fresh na fresh ah!
Mga fresh ka lagi.
Yeah,
Ganun.
di ba?
Speaking of freshie, kumusta naman pag first year? Actually, okay na okay. Nag-aaral ako ng mabuti.
Siyempre dapat na, PUP yan eh. di ba?
Correct. At alam mo ba, talaga namang proud na proud ako dyan sa mga freshie natin kasi talagang porsigido silang malaman kung ano nga ba itong pamantasan ito.
Tama. At alam niyo ba, dapat advance tayo mag-isip. Hindi lamang tungkol sa ating pamantasan, Sir Dennis.
Yes, tama yan. Correct. Yan yung
At
lahat.
alam niyo, para makadagdag kaalaman, at advance tayo mag-isip. Siyempre,
Neil.
isang paraan doon ay yung pagbabasa. Di ba? Ikaw kami yung pagbabasa.
Actually, hobby ko yung pagbabasa eh. Kung wala ka ako ngayon, sa library ako.
Tama.
Talaga lang.
Alam mo ba kung nasa ng library mo, May?
Joke hindi. Siyempre sa NALLRC.
Dapat bilang freshie ka ng May.
Oo.
At alam mo ba, hindi lang library ang meron sa NALLRC.
Tumpak, ganun. Correct. Ay, be? Gusto ko yan, ma'am?
Oo. At para malaman mo kung ano-ano nga bang opisina at colleges na nandito, panoorin natin.
Hi schoolmates! Nandito ko ngayon sa Ninoy Aquino Library and Learning Resources Center kung saan madalas tumambay ang mga PUP upang mag-research, magbasa at gumawa ng assignment. Pero bukod dito, alam niyo ba ang kwento sa makasaysayang NALLRC building na ito? Everything you have to know, dito sa Nayo Know.
Research mo?
Research.
Sa books, pag nag-search, may assignment.
Papataw.
Bulwagan, malagtas para sa marketing.
Taong 1988, nasimulang itayo ang dalawang palapag na gusali sa ilalim noon ng pamumuno ni dating PUP President Nemesio E. Prudente. At sa taong 1990 naman, nang maisakatuparan ang pagtatayo ng gusali at tinawag itong PUP University Library. Hindi rin nagtagal, taong 2001 nang palitan muli ang pangalan nito ng Ninoy Aquino Learning Resources Center. Makalipas din ang 2 taon, ito ay opisyal na tinawag ng Ninoy Aquino Library and Learning Resource Center.
Before, yung ating library ay small library na 2-story building at the back of the chapel na ngayon ay ginagamit ng nutrition. It was conceptualized by Dr. Prudente himself. Over 1 year and several months, natapos yan. It is not just a library, but it is a library complex. Meaning, maglalagay dyan isang maliit na museum at merong theater nga. At yun nga ang ginawang balagtas.
Pero alam niyo ba na bukod sa library, ay dito rin matatagpo ng ilang mahalagang opisina ng sintang paaralan.
Sa first floor, matatagpuan ang isa sa kilalang kolehiyo sa universidad. Ito ay ang College of Law. Ang main entrance ng gusali at mga opisina gaya ng ICTO, Quality Assurance Center, at Open University Management System naman ang bubungan sa second floor. Sa third floor naman, makikita ang pinaka-importanting bahagi ng gusali, ang main library na nahati sa iba't ibang pasilidad. Open University System, Multimedia Center, Film Viewing Room, Bulwagang Bonifacio at Bulwagang Balagtas naman ang bumubuo sa ika-4 na palapag.
Now you'll know, patunay na ang Ninoy Aquino Library and Learning Resources Center serves as PUP's gateway to Global Information Society. Kaya naman, isa ito sa mga pundasyon at pasilidad na dapat nating pangalagaang mga PUPian para sa sintang paaralan.
Yun naman pala ang kwento sa likod ng
Yes.
Ngayon alam ko na. Yes, sa next episode naman sa kwento ng sa harap.
Nakakatawa yun. Pero hindi sir, may iba tayo. Ngayon alam ko na talaga na may mga offices pala dito sa NAL. That's
Tama,
good.
hindi lang library lang nandyan. At dapat alam nyo yung mga fresh. Kasi kakailanganin yung mga servisyo nila sa pagdating ng panahon.
Tsaka yung mga friends din nagkakaroon ng problema sa SISD. Buti lang kasi sa ICTO. Pero di College of Law.
Yes, may marami pang services at opisina.
At dahil dyan, clap, clap, clap para sa NALRC. Napagod ako sa ka-clap, clap, clap. Biglang nagutom ako eh. Nagutom ako.
Ito na nga, katabi ng NALRC ay ang lagoon.
Ay, that's
Maraming
true.
kainan dyan.
Yes, sobrang dami.
Dami ko rin paborito. Anything.
Meron dyan. Ano ba, rice?
Actually, may yun yung corn dog sir.
Ay, nako, yung corn dog.
Ang gusto
Gusto
ko
ko.
burger yan. Madaling lutuin.
Gusto ko kumain ng burger.
Oo, mabilis kasi luto ng
Ay,
burger.
yan. Tamang-tama na pag-usapan ng burger.
Yes.
Gusto nyo ba malaman, ma'am? Okay, para sa inyo sir and ma'am at sa mga nagtatanong kung saan ba matatagpuan ng mga best burgers sa PUP,
Wow.
sasagutin natin yan sa
PUP Frequently Asked Questions! What's up, PUPians? I am Zed and I'll be your school buddy na sasagot sa inyong frequently asked questions only here at PUP Fox. Hi schoolmates! Sa dami-dami ng mga pagkain dito sa ating sintang paaralan, sigurado ako na medyo ang hirap pumili. Pero pasok na pasok ang burgers dahil swak sa budget, patok sa PUPian at swak sa panlasa ng ating mga schoolmates. Kaya kung usaping burger lang naman, ako ang bahala para sagutin ang frequently asked question number 1. Saan nga ba merong best burgers na patok sa ating mga PUPian? Itong first burger natin ay mapapapaypay kasi naglalagablab nilang burgers. Introducing Varda, ang burger joint na meron 26 branches at isa sa mga yun ay nandito sa ating sintang paaralan. Dito, patok ang mga school-inspired menu na fit para sa ating mga schoolmates. Para naman sa mga basketball fans, time out muna tayo and let's visit this burger court. Grilla Burgers located at GR Araneta Street, corner Arellano. Kilala sila sa pagkakaroon ng mga basketball-inspired na menu at mala slam dunk na flavors, authentic burgers at fresh grilled burger na sulit sa budget. Ang susunod namang burger bistro sa ating list ay para sa mga schoolmates natin sa COC, SEA at ITEC, ang G-Spot. So mga schoolmates, bisitahin ang kanilang cozy bistro at tikman ang kanilang Instagram-worthy quirky burgers and side dishes. Sigurado ako na ito ang next spot na inyong tambayan. O ayan mga schoolmates, ilan lang yan sa mga patok na burger place para sa inyo. Ano pa ang hinihintay at mag-burger hopping na with your barkada? Hanggang sa muli, I'll be your school buddy na sasagot sa inyong frequently asked questions. Only here at PUP Fox. Burger! Bibili ako mamaya niya.
Tambay ako dyan lagi, alam mo ako pupunta mama.
Yes!
Salamat din. At bago pa man tayo mabusog sa burgers na yan, bubusuin ko muna kayo sa balitang may nag-top notch na naman sa licensure examination.
Alam ko yan.
Ginanap ko yung 2018
Alam ko yan, Neil. Alam mo ba, itong batang ito, sobrang prosigido niya sa pag-aaral. At sa pagpupursige niya, alam niyo kung ano nangyari?
Anong nangyari sa'yo din?
Naging top 1 lang naman siya sa 2018 Architecture Licensure Examination.
Hindi
basta-basta, kasi top 1 talaga.
Sa Pilipinas ito.
Precisely.
PUP yan.
Exactly. Kaya naman, huwag na natin patagalin pa. Kilalanin na natin ni schoolmates ang ating pong top-notcher na si Paolo Gabriel Martires. Ito ang Tata PUP yan!
I'm architect Paolo Gabriel Martires from PUP. Bali nung una, may nag-send sa akin na friend ng screenshot. So, akala ko talaga nung una edited lang. So, hindi ako naniniwala. And then, nung verify ko, syempre nag-iyakan kami sa bahay ng parents ko. It was the best feeling talaga. I dreamed about it, I wanted it, but I really did not expect na akot ako ng top. Mahirap siya, actually, kasi sobrang tricky ng questions. Lahat ng choices sobrang similar. And then, sa review, parang 50% lang yung lumabas. Then, yung others based sa experience. For future examinees, huwag kayo magmadali. And then, ipon talaga ng experience kasi sobrang valuable ng lahat ng lessons na natututunan sa real world sa trabaho. Nakaunang challenge na nakita ko, na-experience ko is ang daming mas magaling sa akin nung pumasok ako. So, parang nung una, nag-struggle talaga ako with self-doubt and insecurities, ganyan. But I took it as a challenge na not to compete with them, but to compete with myself. Parang automatic kasi na pag pumasok ka ng PUP, kailangan mo maging resourceful. So, and lahat naman ng professors sa CAFA, sobrang willing na magbigay ng tulong in any way possible. So, kahit naman naging struggle siya, naging okay naman yung experience overall. Accept every challenge kasi you'll never know someday in the future, lahat ng matututunan mo from those challenges, magagamit mo. Just like nung exam, lahat ng mga akala ko dati problema lang or hindi ko kaya, lumabas siya sa board exam. Ako si Paolo Gabriel T. Martires from the College of Architecture and Fine Arts, top 1 sa Architecture Licensure Examination, the top PUP yan.
Wow! Grabe, nakaka-inspire!
Nakaka-inspire talaga sobra.
Na-inspire ka ba?
Ay, sana all.
Sana nga na-inspire din natin ang ating mga scholar ng bayan. At malay mo, ikaw nang susunod na top 1 sa licensure exam.
At sana hindi lang na-inspire ang ating mga schoolmates, di ba? Sana nasagot din ang inyong mga katanungan.
That's
Diba,
good.
Neil?
Yes, kagaya ko, sobrang dami kong nalaman sa episodes natin.
At hindi na nalaman at meron pa natupad ng pangarap. Yes! Host ng PUP
At
Creative.
para pa madagdagan ng inyong kaalaman, dapat nanonood kayo lagi ng pinakausap-usapan sa pamantasan.
Yes, tama kasi Ma'am Mia. At kaya mga schoolmates, kung gusto nyo maging updated sa mga latest usap-usapan, make sure that you are following our social media accounts.
Tama ka dyan, Neil. Just search www.facebook.com/PUPCreativity or follow us on Twitter at PUPCreativity.
And don't forget to watch this episode and previous episodes on our YouTube channel at PUP Creativity at mag-subscribe na rin kayo, schoolmates.
Correct. Ayan naman mga schoolmates, hanggang sa susunod nating usapan dito sa inyong paboritong online tambayan, ito ang Pinakausap-usapan sa Pamantasan!
Dito ako ngayon sa Ninoy Aquino sa NALLRC na building na ito. Everything you have to know.
Ayan na! Nagutom ako doon. Nagutom ako. Burger!
Yes, parang nag-recall burger.
Oo. Ano ba yan, Ma'am Gel? Ma'am Gel. Bakit na dalawa na lang tayo?
Welcome to the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, the country's first Polytechnic U. PUP is a state-run university governed by the Republic Act 8292, known as the Higher Education Modernization Act of 1997, and its implementing rules and regulations contained in the Commission on Higher Education Memorandum Circular No. 4, Series of 1997. It is home to more than 70,000 students, making it the largest state university in the Philippines in terms of student population. It is the university's commitment to give qualified and talented students access to quality and responsive education to aid them in the achievement of their dreams and the improvement of their lives. True to its commitment of making education accessible to all, the university has strategically established campuses and branches all over Luzon. Boasts of its roster of 1,483 full-time and part-time faculty members and 707 administrative employees. The faculty members and employees perform the collective goal of training, servicing, and supporting the university's stakeholders. From its humble beginnings in 1904, PUP was originally established as the Manila Business School primarily for the training of personnel for government service and to provide skills suited for private employment. 4 years later, the Manila Business School was renamed Philippine School of Commerce or PSC and merged with the Philippine Normal School from 1933 to 1946. Through the virtue of Republic Act 778, PSC was renamed to Philippine College of Commerce or PCC in 1952. In April 1, 1978, PCC was converted into a chartered state university now known as the Polytechnic University of the Philippines by virtue of Presidential Decree Number 1341. PUP truly has come a long way from a business school to a premier polytechnic university, the very first in the country. Every year, around 50,000 graduating high school students, mostly from economically challenged families, take the Polytechnic University of the Philippines College Entrance Test or PUP set and hope to become one of the 10,000 who will be given a chance to be new PUPians. At present, the university offers more than 80 programs in the graduate and undergraduate levels with its strategic direction of making the colleges vertically articulated. Graduate School, College of Accountancy and Finance, College of Arts and Letters, College of Architecture and Fine Arts, College of Business Administration, College of Communication, College of Computer and Information Sciences, College of Education, College of Engineering, College of Law, College of Political Science and Public Administration, College of Social Sciences and Development, College of Science, College of Tourism, Hospitality and Transportation Management, College of Human Kinetics, Institute of Technology. PUP further strengthens its open university system through expanded tertiary education equivalency and accreditation program and the non-traditional system program. It caters to borderless educational system that aims to reach many learners as possible. For more than a century of existence, countless outstanding achievements have raised PUP to the level of a national comprehensive university. With a vision to transform the university into an epistemic community, PUP subscribes to the idea that a university should have an extensive research and extension development culture. Each year, PUP surpasses national passing rate in licensure examinations and ranks among the top in different academic disciplines. PUP has also institutionalized academic exchange and international cooperation with various countries all over the world through its Office of International Affairs. Today, PUP is relishing its successes and its students are enjoying unprecedented academic opportunities. An enhanced campus environment, upgraded colleges, state-of-the-art technology, and nationally and internationally recognized programs. It has gone far from what it was more than a century ago. This is mainly due to the support given by the government, the PUP community, and its benefactors. With the combined efforts, PUP will continue to be a partner in nation building and in poverty alleviation for the marginalized sector of the society, with quality, responsive, and relevant education as a tool. PUP, the country's first Polytechnic U.
Allow me to share with you my vision for the university. I envision PUP to become the pioneering and leading national polytechnic university in the 21st century. With a national polytechnic university status, it will bring more opportunities for the university to further strengthen its academic programs and improve organizational performance as an institution for higher education. In pursuit for this vision, my mission for PUP is for it to recognize its catalytic role for national development. PUP will ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities through a re-engineered polytechnic education. By re-engineering, we look into the existing processes and programs in order to achieve higher quality of academic programs and services following the principles of effectiveness and efficiency. With this mission in mind, I have formulated 10 pillars as my reform agenda for the university. Pillar 1, Dynamic, Transformational, and Responsible Leadership. Empower academic and administrative leaders by following the core principles of good governance to create collective growth and unity. Here I would like to highlight an innovation by introducing the development of an integrity management plan to assess, plan, and implement anti-corruption strategies that will secure the institution against corruption and abuse. Likewise, asset management and resource generation will be aggressively pursued to ensure productivity and finance the implementation of the plans and projects for the university. Pillar 2, Responsive and Innovative Curricula and Instruction. We aim to provide world-class polytechnic education that responds to national and global needs by developing intellectually challenging curricula and design academic programs that are based on industry demands to provide the learners with adequate and relevant competencies and skills and prepare them for a successful and rewarding careers. In a rapidly changing world, we recognize the paradigm shift in curriculum to outcome-based education with lifelong learning approach. Pillar 2 also sits on the framework of internationalization of Philippine higher education through transnational education by promoting academic mobility among faculty and students and global dimension into the curricula and teaching process. Pillar 3, Enabling and Productive Learning Environment. Following education in Industry 4.0, we aim to increase and enhance the use of new technology to enable student learning and engagement, as well as advanced teaching process and methodology through new and state-of-the-art facilities that will support the overall learning and teaching experience in the university. Pillar 3 likewise includes campus development and the provision of conducive learning centers and facilities for students and faculty. Pillar 4, Holistic Student Development and Engagement. We will empower students as well as rounded learners and active young leaders as we open opportunities for various academic mobility and venues for honing skills and personal development, being the principal stakeholder of the university. Recognize academic freedom as a form of self-expression and a platform to showcase students' intellect, skills, and creativity. Pillar 5, Empowered Faculty Members and Employees. Likewise, we are looking into the holistic development of our faculty and employees as productive, competent, and experts in their respective fields. We will encourage our faculty roster through formal education, capacity building, research and extension initiatives, faculty immersion, and other academic engagements, both local and abroad. We will ensure that both our faculty and employees will have a vibrant career development path as public servants in this state university. Pillar 6. Vigorous research production and utilization. We will continue to strengthen the research culture in the university by promoting discovery and innovation through increasing disciplinary and collaborative research integration across academic disciplines to create new knowledge, utilize research findings, and develop innovative products. Pillar 7. Global academic standards and excellence. Achieve the highest levels of recognition in quality and compliance standards from CHED, AACUP, and other international accrediting and regulatory bodies for higher education. We will intensify our efforts to achieve and sustain better academic performance and continue to excel as a top-performing school in various professional licensure examinations and produce board top-notchers, as well as sustain our status of being the most preferred graduates of employers. Likewise, we aim to establish and to be recognized as centers of development and excellence in our academic programs. Pillar 8. Synergistic, productive strategic networks and partnerships. Synergize and forge strategic linkages and partnerships across all sectors of society and the global community in line with the overall plans and programs of the university. Establish alliance with the government, industry sector, NGOs, and the academe will lead to resource sharing, program support, and research collaborations beneficial for all. Pillar 9. Active and sustained stakeholders engagement. Harness a healthy and harmonious organization by empowering all its stakeholders, both internal and external, through open communication networks, consultative and participative undertakings, and team-building activities, recognizing that all stakeholders can greatly contribute towards the betterment of the university. Pillar 10. Sustainable social development programs and projects. Expand access to education, knowledge building, and information dissemination through sharing of expertise and resources for community development. Support inclusivity approach in education by embarking on Education on Wheels, which aims to bring access to education closer to communities, following the principle of no one will be left behind. As the University of the People, we should bring the university closer to their hearts to serve their needs and extend assistance in mainstreaming public service. Our institution must continue to stand as one for the values that we have inculcated. For the past 115 years, we have exemplified our quest for truth, excellence, equity, relevance, effectiveness, integrity, and academic freedom. Lastly, I call upon each and everyone to join me in this journey. Together we stand as one para sa sintang paaralan para sa ating bayan.
Noon pa man, malaki na ang naging bahagi ng mga kababaihan sa lipunang Pilipino. Kaisa sila sa marubdob na paghahangad ng kalayaan ng ating lahi. Kabilang sila sa paglinang ng ating makulay na sining at mayamang kultura. Kasapi sila sa pagtataguyod ng mga adhikain ng kapwa mamamayan at sa pagtugon sa mga pangangailangan ng lipunan. Katuwang sila sa pagtuklas sa mga larangan ng agham at medisina. Kapanalig sila sa pagpapairal ng batas, karapatan at katarungan para sa lahat. Kabahagi sila sa paglilingkod sa bayan at sa pagpapanatili ng demokrasyang Pilipino. Sa paglipas ng panahon, hindi nagmaliw ang kanilang pag-ibig sa ating inang bayan. Mga kababayan, ito ang alay ng mga kababaihang Pilipino para sa bayan. Tumayo po tayong lahat at sabay-sabay nating awitin ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Ayaw magiliw, pero sa silanganan, alam ng puso, sa dilim mo'y buhay. Lupang hiniram, duyatan ng magiging, sa manlulupin, di ka masisigil. Sa nagataklulog, sa singer at sa lalim mong babang, magilang ang tula at awit sa kulay ang minamahal. Ang isang ng patawat mo'y tagumpay na naglilingin.
Hi, I'm Engineer Florinda H. Oquindo, Director of Operations and Career Development Office. The role of our office is to keep connections among students and alumni, provides complete range of services to students, alumni, and employers in the area of career development, graduates and professional schools preparations, employee relations, and campus recruitment. We also provide alumni and students with the tools and resources to help find success in all professional endeavors. To all freshmen, please come and visit us. Our office is located at N209 North Wing 2nd floor.
Magandang umaga mga kaisko at kaiska. So, kumusta ang araw nyo ngayon? Kumusta ang umaga? Isang mainit ba na umaga or isang maulang umaga? So, guys, alam ko excited na kayo kasi nalalapit na ang bakasyon, nalalapit na ang summer nyo. So, sa ating mga estudyante mula sa PUP Main, meron din tayo from our Facebook page live. Nandito po ang may NTC tayo. Good morning sa inyong lahat, guys. So, salamat din sa ating host college ngayon. Ang ating host college ay ang College of Business Administration at ang College of Political Science and Public Administration. So, pa-heart naman dun sa mga taga-College of Business Administration. O, mukhang wala, guys. Sino ba mga taga-CBA dito? From the College of Political Science and Public Administration. Pa-heart naman po. Okay. So, meron din tayong mga estudyante mula sa different branches and campuses ng PUP. Andito na ang PUP Mulanay, PUP Lopez. O, sino pang gusto ma-shoutout natin? O, meron din tayong galing sa San Pedro, Laguna. We also do have from PUP Paranaque. Good morning, guys! So, ingat-ingat lang ha. Medyo tumataas at taas na raw po ang mga cases natin. So, always wear your mask, bring your alcohol, and observe social distancing. Diba? Tama ako? Okay. So, guys, next September, yung atin pong next mga fourth year ay gagraduate na. Sila po yung ating batch ng September 16 graduation. So, advance congratulations sa lahat. At maraming salamat sa 4 na taon na pananatili sa Politeknikong Universidad ng Pilipinas. At sana marami kayong natutunan at baunin nyo. At sana ang opisina namin ay nakatulong sa inyo, hindi lang sa paghahanap ng, hindi lang sa personal growth nyo, kung hindi para ma-achieve nyo yung professional growth na gusto nyo or dream job nyo in the near future. So, ilang tulog na lang at ilang inat na lang, ilang stretch na lang, gagraduate na kayo guys. So, malapit na tayong matapos this July 30. Tama po ba? So, isang palakpakan nyo ang sarili nyo para sa job well done dahil natapos nyo ang isang semestre. Tama ba? At sana natapos nyo with a flying color ha guys. Hindi yung natapos nyo with emoji, crying emoji. Mahirap yun. Okay? Pero syempre, kung medyo nag-aalangan din man tayo dahil may mga crying emoji, alam nyo na ibig kong sabihin, better luck next time. Try and try until you succeed, sabi nga nila. Okay, may nagtatanong, face-to-face daw po ba ang graduation? At the moment, wala pa po tayong announcement. Hintayin na lang po natin ang announcement sa inyo guys kung mag-face-to-face po kayo. Okay po? So sa ating mga branches and campuses, so hintayin natin ang announcement ng ating Vice President for branches and campuses through your director. And at the same time, sa PUP May naman po, hintayin natin mismo ang announcement ng registrar natin kung magpe-face-to-face tayo. And I know you're being hopeful na face-to-face. Pero syempre, dahil tumataas na naman ang cases, guys, we just have to face the facts na tayo po ang pinakamalaking university sa Pilipinas and at the same time, hindi po, di ba, natatandaan nyo, pag nagpapagraduation ng PUP, normally inaabot tayo ng 5 araw. At hindi yung wala ka na halos, sometimes wala ka ng time to shine sa stage kasi tuloy-tuloy yung banggit ng pangalan at roll call ng pangalan ng graduate. So, whether or not, graduate ka virtually or face-to-face, okay lang yung guys. What is important is you learn from our university na treasure nyo at magagamit nyo lahat ng pinag-aralan nyo professionally and personally. And I hope you can do that. Okay, guys? So, without any further ado, let me discuss our virtual etiquette. Okay? So, just a reminder, guys, that we are currently on live stream. We are currently on live stream, so kindly mute your microphone while the webinar proper is ongoing. Tinurn off din po namin ang inyong mga camera para din makasave kayo ng inyong data. So, you can interact with our speaker by hitting the like button o kaya dun sa mga thumbs up button. Tapos participate kayo sa kanyang discussion. And at the same time, you can use the chat box or the Zoom chat para po sa Q&A. Or you may raise your hand para naman po to interact with our speaker. Or, okay, for our stream participants naman po, For our stream participants or participants in the PUP Career Center Facebook page. Good morning, guys! Good morning, mga kaisko at kaiska! Kumusta ang araw nyo? Okay, so you may use the comment section ng ating Facebook page para sa inyong mga questions, insight, and at the same time, pwede rin kayo maki-interact using the comment section. You just have to introduce yourself. So, at least ma-acknowledge namin po kayo. We will be including all your questions, comments, and insight during the Q&A portion. At syempre, tinitingnan din po namin yan. So guys, kung sino pang hindi nakaka-follow at nakaka-like sa ating PUP Career Center Facebook page, so tara na! So, palike na po at para ma-share na natin yung ating, hindi lang ating Facebook page, yung mga kaalaman na pwedeng ma-post natin at para maging updated tayo sa mga event ng PUP Career Center. Okay. So, para sa lahat naman po, please make sure that you accomplish the evaluation form, flash at the Zoom chat para sa ating Zoom participants and the comment section para naman sa PUP Career Center Facebook page. So, para meron kayong digital certificate. So, this digital certificate will be released 2 to 3 weeks after the conduct of this webinar and will be given to those who participated, and accomplished the evaluation form given at the end of the session. So just make sure that this form or this link is only accessible 6 hours after the webinar. So meron tayong 4 na industry partners for today. We do have Tera System Philippines for resume writing. We also do have Concentrix for personality branding for employment. Ito yung ngayong umaga natin. At mamaya meron naman tayong career competence and at the same career competence and from Red Elsevier and BXI. So mamayang hapon may maghapon tayo ngayong session. So okay, without any further ado guys, ipapakilala na natin ang ating first speaker. Wait lang po. Aha, let me share my screen guys. Okay, so bago ko ipakilala ng tuluyan ng ating first speaker or first industry sponsor, pwede nating panoorin ang ABP nila.
When the world seemed to stop, we carry on, continue to dream and create. We don't just work with what we know. We innovate to adapt, so you can drive your career forward. We don't just make you feel welcome. We provide everyone an equal opportunity to succeed. We don't stop at just enough. We go extra to care and provide, so you can brave the world safely. Times aren't the same, but we've always been different. We are Concentrix. We dream different. We create different. We embrace different.
Okay. So to discuss about personality branding and employment, our industry partner is an American business service company specializing in customer engagement and business performance. Let's welcome the partner relation and talent delivery for Luzon, Mr. JP or John Paul Anyunevo of Concentrix. Good morning, sir.
Hello and good morning. Good morning to you, Miss Jane, and sa lahat ng mga isko and iska from PUP, and also those who are watching through the live streaming of this event. So good morning, everyone. My name is JP Anunuevo. I'm the Academe and Industry Relations lead for Luzon for Concentrix. So let me share with you my screen so that we can start this morning's talk. Okay, please tell me if you're seeing a blank white screen. Just put a thumbs up or something so that we know if you're seeing the screen. Okay, so thank you very much. So let's begin. First of all, let me introduce to you my company, the company I work for, and the name of our company is Concentrix. So who is Concentrix? Concentrix is a global business services company delivering extraordinary customer, employee, and user experiences to more than 450 of the world's best brands. Simply put, Concentrix is a tech and customer-oriented company. Now, here in the Philippines, it's more popularly known as a BPO company. So what is it exactly does Concentrix do? Okay, so this is what we do. First of all, we help our clients look at their customer challenges. And based on their challenges with their customers, every business will have their own customers, okay, external and internal. We then create innovative solutions that will deliver extraordinary or exceptional experiences and drive better performance. It will then help their businesses, meaning the companies, work smarter, more efficiently, and be better aligned for growth through our unique, holistic, and outcome-focused approach. Okay. In other words, we just don't design and build next generation customer solutions. We actually integrate them, manage them, and continually innovate them to benefit the business, their customers, and their brand. And this is how we do it. We actually start with analytics and consulting. We also have automation and optimization. We also have customer engagement centers. And this is where Concentrix here in the Philippines is very popular all over the world, okay, because of our customer engagement centers. We also have digital self-service, experience design and mobility. We also have that. And then we also have gig platform, marketing solutions, technology and systems integration, and finally, voice of the customer, because we do take importance, or we give importance to what our customers or what the customers of our clients are saying so that we can better our service. Okay. Now, a lot of people are normally asking me, what is it that, if their courses are aligned with what we have at Concentrix? Actually, the answer there is yes, because we support a lot of industries. So our clients are actually bucketed according to various industries, such as the automotive industry, banking and financial services, consumer electronics, energy, public sector, healthcare services, insurance, media and communications, retail and e-commerce, technology, travel, transportation, and tourism. So we have it all. Okay. In fact, Concentrix has been operating here in the Philippines now for 20 years. And we have more than 90,000 employees. In fact, we're nearing our 100,000 employees, making us the biggest BPO company in the Philippines today and one of the largest private employers in the country as well. Okay. We also have a lot of clients and businesses that we are supporting here in the Philippines, actually more than 127, and it's continuously growing. And we're present in 15 cities, 46 centers, and 13 language supported. And, just to sum it up about Concentrix, We're not just the biggest, but also the best. We've received a lot of awards as well from various award-giving bodies every year, and this is just one of them. Okay? So now let's move on to my topic this morning. So nasabi na yan kanina ni Professor Jane. Our topic this morning from Concentrix is all about branding, but more so branding for employability. First of all, let's have a really quick icebreaker. Okay? So yan, inopen ko ang aking chat box. So this is our icebreaker. Okay? Let's play a really quick game of name the brand. Okay? Certain brands or brand names are very popular among people. And I'm not going to be surprised if the questions or the following slides are something that's really familiar to you or you relate with the brand. So let's try to test your knowledge regarding these brands. So in the succeeding slides, try to identify the brand just by either seeing the logo, the tagline, or a description of that particular brand. Okay? And all you have to do is just to type it in the chat box just to see, let's get the ball rolling before we begin the serious part and the meat of the talk. Our first brand. In the Philippines, this brand is famous when it comes to the principle of photocopying. Tingnan natin. In the Philippines, what is the brand that is most synonymous and famous when it comes to photocopying? If you know the answer, you can just type it in the chat box. In fact, dito sa Pilipinas, when we're talking about this brand, yan, may mga nagsagot na. Yes, the correct answer is Xerox. 'Di ba? Dito nga sa Pilipinas, Xerox is more than a brand. It has become a term na imbis na sasabihin natin i-photocopy mo yan o i-Xerox mo yan. Okay? Next, let's have another question here. What brand is this one when you see this logo? This is very famous. In fact, isa to sa pinaka famous na pinipeke for some reason. And your answers are correct. I'm looking at the chat box. Yes, you are all correct. This is Nike. How about this one? What brand is this one? Ayan. Your generation is very familiar with this brand because dito na ngayon nagpupunta ang mga tao para mag-research. Very good. Good job there. I'm looking at the chat box. It is Google. It's the world's biggest search engine. In fact, ngayon, minsan, there was a time na you can say that you've made it kung nagugoogle mo na yung sarili mo. Okay? Next. What brand is often recalled when somebody asks for a toothpaste? Ang pinaka-famous na brand ng toothpaste sa Pilipinas mula noon hanggang ngayon. In fact, naging, believe it or not, naging commercial model pa ng brand na to si Nora Honor back in the 60s. And that is correct, it is Colgate. So now let's talk about why we had that icebreaker. Because today my talk is all about branding. Branding is the process of creating a strong and positive, take note, positive perception about a company, its products, or services in the customer's mind. Ito yung tumatatak sa isip ng mga tao in a positive way. Well, in a negative way, meron ding mga ganong klaseng brands. Sometimes, it becomes a little negative depending on yung naisip nilang concept for an ad or something. And I can give examples of that one. But there are different elements involved when you're talking about branding. We're talking about logo, design, mission statement, and even a consistent theme in all of the communications for that particular brand. Okay? Kaya nga, di ba, meron tayo nun yung pag narinig mo yung tono ng pa-para-pa-pa, di ba? Anong unang brand na naiisip mo? McDonald's. Because that was a consistent theme in their branding scheme. In fact, if you go to all the McDonald's in the world, yun yung jingle. Nga lang, dito sa Pilipinas, hindi love ko to yung pinaka-slogan ng McDonald's, di ba? Sa ibang bansa, I'm loving it. Kasi nga naman, hindi naman nila alam yung ibig sabihin ng ko at saka to. So, but the theme, the concept is all the same. And that is what you call branding. Okay? Now, what does that have to do with you? And what does that have to do with being employable? Okay? So let's move on. By the way, for all of the people who are attending through Zoom, make sure that you are on mute all the time para hindi tayo nadi-distract, okay? Now, going back to my question, how can branding result to a person's employability? Okay? Dito ngayon pumapasok yung term na personal branding. Okay? This is your ability to create a strong, positive perception of yourself, your skills, your knowledge, your behaviors, and the image that you want your customers to bear in mind. Eka, baka naisip nyo, anong customer? Wala naman akong ibebenta. Okay? Customer is a general term for people that we cater to. Okay? There are two types of customers, your internal customers and your external customers. In much as the same way that you all are my customers because I'm conducting this talk and hopefully you learn something from this talk. If you learn something from this talk, then well, I did my job well. Okay? Now, in other words, when you say your customers, you're talking about people who will be interviewing you, your prospective employers. It could be people, halimbawa, gusto mo magtayo ng sarili mong negosyo. Okay? Could be your future investors. It could be your future customers as well. So this is your ability. When we're talking about personal branding, this is your ability to imprint in the minds of your customers, whether internal or external, who you are, so that you can achieve your professional goals, such as being employed, and when you are employed, you know how you can be promoted, and so on. Kasi, this is a reality check for everyone, and I would like to share it with everyone. It's not enough to have good grades. And there are a lot of studies about that already. In fact, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, if you don't know Bill Gates, he basically created Microsoft. Steve Jobs, kaya tayo may Apple products because of him. They were college dropouts who created their business in the garage of their houses. Okay? Galing yan sa garahe. Okay? So, sometimes it's not enough, especially nowadays where there are more people, it's more competitive outside. It's not enough to just have good grades. You have to have a strong perception about who you are in order for you to be employed or promoted and so on. In fact, a lot of things, when I discuss, for example, how you can ace an interview, for a job interview, I normally discuss what's the purpose of a job interview. And the purpose of a job interview for an employer, okay, from our side as an employer, is not really to check whether you have the skills, because there are assessments for us to check your skills. Kaya nga may language assessment, kaya nga merong mga test na involved. But a job interview will tell us if you can fit in with our company and if you can work well with our teams. In other words, we look at your personality when we conduct a job interview. And that is why personal branding is very important. Okay? Now, in today's talk, let's have a personal branding inspiration. Our inspiration is our Miss Universe 2018 Catriona Gray. Gagamitin natin siyang inspiration because there are a lot of things in what she did in order to win Miss Universe that we can actually apply in our strategies to personally brand ourselves in public. Okay? So let's have 10 tips that we can learn from Catriona Gray. First tip is know yourself. Before you go out there, graduate kayo ng college, mag-a-apply kayo ng trabaho, before you go out there in the open, in the real world, you have to know who you are. Because if you don't know who you are, you might get lost in the process in this ever-changing life. Okay? And when we say, know yourself, one, ano yung alam mo? What kind of knowledge do you currently have that you can bring with you and present it to your prospective customers or your future employers. Second, your skills. More importantly, more important actually. Skills is more important than knowledge. Okay? Because let's face it, sometimes the theoretical things that we learn is not necessarily something that we can apply in everyday life. Okay? Hindi naman natin inaano yung mga natututunan natin, pero I think everybody can attest na when we're talking about hiring people, it's not so much on the academic knowledge that we look into, but we look in the skills, because skills are the application of one's knowledge. Next, personality is also very important. Will this person in the future work well with the current team that we have? O baka naman kailangan kami pa ang tiptoe around this person. Okay? So what kind of personality do you have? Okay? Next is physical attributes. Baka isipin tao, teka, kailangan fair na tayo ngayon sa labanan. Wala nang pakialam kung maganda ka o pangit o whatever. But physical attributes, believe it or not, is also very important, because we're not being judged as to what we look like, but it can help us internally. If we feel good about ourselves, even in the way we look like, even if basta malinis ka lang, right? You're presentable. You also feel the confidence that will go with it, and it can carry you, and it will affect your personality and so on. Okay? One thing that we can, this is a takeaway from knowing yourself, and Catriona Gray knew herself really well. I mean, she joined 2 national pageants, Miss World Philippines in 2016 and then Binibining Pilipinas in 2018. And in Binibining Pilipinas, and I've watched her in both personally, and I can say that by the time she joined Binibining Pilipinas, she knew herself more. She knew her capabilities. She knew what she wanted to offer, and that's how she won. Okay? So having a good, solid core in knowing yourself will make any job application better for you. Because majority of companies nowadays also are asking questions pertaining to your personality. Kaya nga, di ba, yung first question usually in a job interview is, can you tell me something about yourself? And when you are asked that question, you're not supposed to answer with, well, I am the youngest of how many siblings, my mother is this, because we don't care about that, to be honest with you. Let's just reality check. What we care about is who you are. Gaano mo kakilala ang sarili mo? Because we're looking at your personality. Okay? So this is where you can now, in knowing yourself, this is where you get to identify your strengths and also your areas of opportunity. I don't want to say the word weakness. Kasi pag weakness, parang limiting na yun eh. Parang, ito na ang kahinaan mo. Parang hindi naman tama yun. Everybody can still improve. And, mind you, strengths and areas of opportunity are normally asked in a job interview. Because we want to know as employers if you can identify things that you're good at and things that you are not good at and are willing to work on. Because it will then give us that kind of personality that you are open and that you are willing to accept criticism. Okay? So this is a good way to start your personal branding. Reflect. Sino ba ako? Right? Now, you can reinforce your strengths and you can then make an action plan on what you can do better for your areas of opportunity. And more importantly, knowing yourself also sets the pace in your own mindset. Okay? Now, how do you check your personality? Usually some companies, I'm not saying all, but majority of companies give a personality test. An example of a personality test is the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator. Okay, in the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, it's an assessment. Usually, some companies, I remember when I was applying for my first ever BPO job here in the Philippines, we were given a Myers-Briggs Type Indicator. Papel pa nun. Ngayon, I'm sure it's online and you can just click on something. But during my time, it was a paper and then we had to shade circles, and then it was a personality assessment all together. And For the Myers-Briggs type indicator, they ask questions, like for example, are you the type who would most likely be late to a party? Things like that. Because after that, they evaluate it and then they come up with a combination of your personality traits, like the one that you see in the table here. Are you more of an extrovert or an introvert? Are you more sensing or are you more intuitive? Are you more of the thinking type of person or do you use your emotions and your feelings more? Are you the type who would judge people or do you perceive things? Okay? And basically all of us are a combination of these personality traits. Okay? It's just a matter of what percentage is which. Okay? So usually, companies would have to pay for the license to give this type of indicator. But actually, in your case, there is a website that you can go to in order for you to have a similar type of test. Okay? This is this particular website. So if you're interested, you can screenshot this now. Kunyari, nagla-live selling tayo. I-screenshot nyo na po. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Screenshot this one, http://www.humanmetrics.com/win/jtypes2.asp. So this is a very good website to go to because this is how it looks like. O yan ha. Nag 1, 2, 3, 4 na ako kanina. Sana na-screenshot nyo. This is the Jung topology test. By the way, the pronunciation of Jung, this is a very famous psychologist. It's pronounced as Jung. Okay? So basically, this topology test follows the Carl Jung's and the Myers-Briggs type indicator. So it's very similar where all you have to do is just to click. There are, I think, 60 plus or 50 plus questions here. All you have to do is to click on whether in the situations you are a big yes, a small yes, if you're not certain, a small no, or a big no. Yung talagang no na no na no po, hindi ko ginagawa yan. Okay? So, all you have to do is just to be yourself, be honest with your answers. There are no right and wrong answers to the questions here or the situations. And it will give you, basically, at the end of it, excuse me, at the end of it, it will tell you your personality. Okay? Wait, let me just, yeah. So it will tell you if you are ESTJ, meaning you are an extrovert, you're a sensing, you're a thinking, and a judging type of person. So it will give you that, and it will give you more information also, like what your personality is all about. You can read it more comprehensively, and at the same time, it can even give you guidance on what kind of career is best for your personality. Now, the thing is, once you know what kind of personality you have, it doesn't necessarily mean na dito lang ako pwede. Okay, remember, it's more advantageous right now to go out of the box than stay within the box. Okay? So what do I mean by that? If your goal is to do a certain thing, let's say your goal is to work in this type of environment, halimbawa, gusto nyo magtrabaho sa BPO industry, and the BPO industry, we're all a group of extroverts. We like to speak. In fact, that's our job, to speak. And ikaw yung tipong shy type, introvert ka pala, ganyan. Then, if you know that that is your goal, you can then still work on your personality in order for you to come out of your shell. Okay? So, this particular test is not supposed to limit you, but it's supposed to tell you about yourself so that if there are ways for you to change yourself, pwede naman. Because your personality type changes as you move on in your life. I'm a good example because, to be honest with you, when I was young, nung ako'y bata pa talaga, back in the 80s, I was a very shy person. I mean, I won't even talk to you if you talk to me. That's how shy I was. But it took one music teacher where I studied to tell me na, can you sing in front of the class? And then that's how I started. And then after that, nag-contest ako, nanalo ko sa mga singing contest, and so on, so forth. And this is where I am right now. I realized that I love speaking in front of people. And that's a change and a shift in my personality as well. Okay? Now, let's now move on to the next step. So now you know yourself, it's now time for you to know your purpose and develop your mindset. Catriona Gray would always say that she wanted her reign to be a purposeful reign because bago pa siya sumali sa isang pageant, alam niya yung purpose niya. And the purpose was more than winning. It was actually from herself, from the way she said it, and I was able to interview her before pa. She really wanted to help people. Okay? Kaya siya sumali sa Miss World Philippines because Miss World, the concept of Miss World really is more on the charitable works than the glamour. Okay? So in the same manner, Miss Universe is the same as well because, apart from the glitz, the glamour, Miss Universe actually works with people with AIDS and so on and so forth. So she knew her purpose. So let's try to apply that so that we can be more employable. We have to know our purpose. What's your goal? In fact, tinatanong din yan sa mga job interviews. What's your goal in 5 years? What's your goal in 2 years? Sometimes pa nga, what's your goal in 6 months? Because we all have short-term and long-term goals. Okay? Kung ang goal mo ay mapabuti ang buhay mo, mapabuti ang buhay ng pamilya mo, okay? Professionally then, what should be your goals in order to achieve that personal goal? Okay? So it's important for you to identify what your goals are, personal and professional, so that you know what to do. And you can then tie up your personality and how to achieve your goals. Okay? Pick a timeline. Di ba nga sabi nila, when you're planning for things, you have to be smart. Right? Specific, measurable, attainable, time-bound. Right? It's very important for you to know your timeline. And when you are creating your goals, whether short-term or long-term goals and your timelines, be realistic. Diba? Kailangan magkaroon ako ng 1 milyon bukas. Hindi naman mangyayari yun. Kasi nga kahit nga loto, di ba? Yung 400 million na loto na yun, ilang linggo bago na-achieve, di ba? So, ganun din. You have to be realistic when you are creating your goals, whether short-term and long-term, professional and personal. And you make sure that your professional goals can also answer for your personal goals. Okay? For example, you want to have a good life. Hindi naman tayo pwedeng umasa sa anong dadating galing kay Bathala, di ba? Kailangan pinaghihirapan yan. So what are your professional goals now? Okay? Next is your passions and interests. It's also very important for you to know what your passions and interests are. May kasabihan minsan, merong mga narinig sa ibang mga mas matanda na sa akin, na as you become older, your attention shifts. Pag nagkaroon ka ng pamilya, ang attention mo nasa pamilya mo lang and so on. But it's still important to know what you're passionate in doing. It's still important for you to know what your interests are. Because dito ngayon papasok yung tinatawag nating work and life balance. Okay? There should be a balance of work and life so that you don't lose yourself in the process. And this will help you also in your purpose, in your goal. Okay? Next is your negotiables and non-negotiables. In your goals, especially your professional goals, what are negotiable and what are non-negotiable? When you say negotiable, ito yung pwedeng, sige, ito yung gusto ko pero pwedeng mag-iba. Pero meron din tayong non-negotiable na, hindi, ito talaga, kailangan ganito. Kaya nga minsan meron mga tao na, sir, gusto ko lang po magtrabaho, work at home. Sir, gusto ko lang po yung hindi ko po kaya mag-work at home, gusto ko po pasok sa opisina. Those are non-negotiables. It becomes negotiable sometimes, especially if the person says, yes, sir, I'm flexible. Pwede naman po ko any. Ayan. Okay? So know your purpose, know your goal, create that goal. Make a list. I actually know some people na gumagawa ng listahan nila, nilalagay nila sa isa may mesa nila, and they look at it, and they work on it, and they, it's a checklist. Kaya nga, di ba meron tayong tinatawag na bucket list? Hindi bucket list, but bucket list. Because it's not a why, but it's something that you want to do in order for you to achieve your goal. Know your purpose. Third tip. So, kilala mo na yung sarili mo, Alam mo na yung purpose mo in life, ngayon, it's time to learn the external world, the outside world. Know your audience. And this was something that Catriona Gray was very good at. Okay? Let me tell you a story about Catriona Gray. Okay? Nanalo na siya ng Binibining Pilipinas Universe. So she's now preparing for Miss Universe. And usually ang Miss Universe kasi very late yan magsabi na kung saan gagawin yung Miss Universe. And in 2018, they announced that Miss Universe was going to be held in December, pero gagawin sa Thailand. So I think they announced it somewhere around August or September, parang ganon. Okay? So what Catriona Gray did and her team, and yes, you know, in order to do things, sometimes you need help, and she had a team of her own. So to prepare for the Miss Universe competition, ang ginawa ni Catriona Gray, nagpunta siya sa Thailand. Saktong-sakto, nagpunta sila sa Thailand, nag-tour sila sa Thailand, in-immerse nila sarili nila sa Thailand because one of the reasons for doing that is she wants to know her audience. Wala ka sa Pilipinas eh. Pupunta ka sa ibang bansa para mag-compete. Ngayon, kilala ang Pilipino, you know, when they support their candidate, talagang all-out support online. Pero kailangan niya ng pala, in other words. Kasi iba pa rin yung feeling na meron kang audience na nanonood sa'yo in that competition na cheering for you. So what she did was, you know, they had fun in Thailand. She immersed herself in the food. She immersed herself with the culture, everything that there is in Thailand. And she actually learned a lot of things. So fast forward, December, pumunta na siya officially as Miss Philippines sa Thailand. Paglapag niya sa Thailand, pinagkaguluhan siya ng tao. Not just of Filipinos living in Thailand, but by the residents of Thailand themselves. Pinagkaguluhan siya. And they were impressed kasi sinimulan na niyang i-apply kung ano man ang natutunan niya sa previous niyang pagpunta sa Thailand. So one of the things that she did, one of her designers came up with this outfit that you see here. And if you look at it, it looks like a national costume of Thailand kahit na hindi naman. And she actually used the gold belt that she wore nung nagsuot siya ng national costume ng Thailand nung nagpunta siya months before as a belt for this one. So doon pa lang nakuha na niya yung audience niya. Okay? She even learned how to do the why, yung pag ganon, and so on and so forth. And she used her knowledge in interviews. So ang ending nun, na-capture niya yung audience. So it wasn't, I wouldn't say that it wasn't difficult for her, but it was easier for her to do the other things that she had planned as a strategy in order to win the title. So know your audience. So what do we mean now by know your audience in your case when we're talking about personal branding for employability? One, excuse me if I'm drinking, guys, ha. Okay, kakagaling ko lang kasi nagkasakit ako, alam niya ni Ma'am Jane. One is learn your industry or research on the industry you plan to work for. Okay? I know that sometimes your courses, your mindset is more limited in the sense na ito kasing natapos kong kurso, dapat sa industry lang na ito ako magtrabaho. But what you don't know is you can still apply your course in other industries. Okay? So if you feel like, you know, you want to learn more about a specific industry, learn. Research. Okay? For example, the BPO, I can talk about the BPO industry, you know, because that's where I'm from. But, you know, not a lot of people know what the BPO industry is all about. Alam lang nila, maganda sweldo, so on and so forth. Very limiting. So, always get to learn about the industry. Research on the company you're applying for because that's an advantage. Ang pinakaayaw ng mga interviewers, for example, and prospect companies is, you know, when applicants come to them and say, sir, ano nga pala ulit yung ina-applyan ko dito, nakalimutan ko po. Sir, wala akong alam tungkol sa kumpanya niyo. Okay? And to us, it's a turn off because you didn't do your part. You know, it only tells us that you're not really interested in applying for this job because you don't even know our industry, you don't even know our company. Eh, ba't ka nag-apply dito? Okay? See, that's a strategy in branding yourself. You have to know ano yung nasa paligid mo. Parang ganito lang yan eh. Kung magtatayo ka ng isang negosyo, a simple negosyo, even, you know, kahit na magtayo ka ng isang booth ng fishball, tapos naglagay ka ng fishball stand mo sa gitna ng isang village na alam mo yung mga tao hindi naman nagsisilabasan ng bahay. Sa tingin mo, kikita ka. Hindi. Kailangan alam mo kung ano yung nagaganap. Alam mo kung anong oras lumalabas yung mga tao. Kaya nga, ano yan eh, di ba napansin nyo, when you're talking about, for example, food business, usually there's a feasibility report kung saan ba dapat magtayo ng booth. Because this is tip number 3, know your audience. Yung gusto mo bang itayong negosyo, ilalagay mo sa isang lugar na yung taong yon alam mong tatangkilikin yung negosyo mo. Okay? And you have to learn and you have to study about that too. Job description is another thing that's very important. You should know what you're applying for. So that when you are being interviewed, you know how to answer. You don't just rely on what's in your resume. Kasi ibig sabihin, and this is a tip that I normally do. If you know the job description and you know the company you are applying for, when you are being interviewed, pwede mong gamitin yung natutunan mo tungkol sa kumpanya and the job description, and then you match it with your personality. For example, you're applying for a job in the BPO industry, and then you are being asked, tell me something about yourself. You can answer, well, I'm a people person. I love talking to people. And I know that your company is all about connecting with people and interacting and giving them the best experience for your customers. And that's why I know I'm good for the job. See, you married those two. You gave a stronger answer. And that is branding yourself. Because you're giving a positive perception about yourself to your prospect clients or customers or employers. Okay? What are the knowledge, skills, and behaviors that are needed for the job or for that particular business you might be thinking of doing? Okay? And also, this is very important. Ano yung kultura ng kumpanyang yon? Swak ba yung personality mo sa kultura ng kumpanyang yon? Kung hindi swak, pero talagang gusto mo magtrabaho dun sa kumpanyang yon, what can you do so that you can blend in? They will not blend in with you. You should blend in with them. Ikaw ang papasok sa kanila eh. Diba? They've already created their culture. So how can you be a part of their culture? And that's why it's very important for you to know your audience. Okay? The application process is another thing. It's very menial, but you should know the application process as well. Okay? Okay ba sir na kailangan ba pag ni-research ko yung application process ng isang kumpanya, dapat hindi ko applyan yung madaming steps? It's up to you. But there are advantages and disadvantages of companies having a lot of steps in their application process. And a really big advantage for people, for some companies with a lot of application process is it means and it's telling you that they're really serious in choosing the right person for the job. Okay? In other words, you're going to expect really good career growth. Dress code, ayan. Importante ang dress code. Okay? Sir, dapat po bang naka-corporate attire pag kami nagpunta sa isang job interview? The answer there is, it depends. Ano ba yung na-research mo? Okay? When you research about dress code, and later on we're going to talk about dressing up, okay? But usually you have to know the dress code of the company that you are going to apply for, because you don't want to be too overdressed when you come in for an interview, but you want to be a little higher than what is common. Okay? So you have to know the dress code as well, kasi it will also fit with your personality. Hindi po sa lahat ng panahon dito sa Pilipinas naka-corporate attire ang tao. At lalo na when you're talking about corporate attire, hindi po totoo na kailangan itim. In fact, the most famous color for corporate attire is charcoal gray and navy blue, not black. To be honest lang po ha, just setting that outside. Okay? Why? Because mainit po sa Pilipinas. Pag nag-itim ka, mainit. And itim is normally affiliated with something that's more formal, like kasal, and so on. And that's why, even in other countries in the world, when they wear something corporate, it's usually charcoal gray, dark brown, but charcoal gray and navy blue. Okay? And we'll talk about colors later on kasi may kinalaman din yan sa isang slide dito sa talk ko. Number 4, authenticity is the key. And this is something that Catriona Gray is an advocate of. You want to be authentic to yourself. In other words, nagpapakatotoo ka. So always have a personality check. Periodically check your personality. Kasi mapapansin mo minsan nagbabago ang tao. Totoo yan. And in knowing again who yourself, so you're going back to point number 1, in knowing who yourself again, periodically, you will know your pros and cons. Meaning, strengths and areas of opportunities. Nag-iiba din yan. Okay? And be you, but always know when to conform. Okay? Lahat tayo may iba-ibang klaseng personality traits. But, here's the big but, it doesn't necessarily mean na kailangan tangkapin ka ng tao for who you are. Because minsan, majority wins. That's the reality of life. Okay? Ngayon, kung ikaw yung tipong tao na pinapakita mo yung pagka-authentic mo kasi mahilig ka sa burloloy and so on, daming nakalagay sa'yo, if you're going to work for a particular company that is more conservative, then you have to know when to conform. Kailan ka dapat sumang-ayon kung anong sinasabi nila. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you're getting rid of your authenticity. You can still be you. Kung dati, kunyari, sandamakmak ang hikaw mo, siguro, kontiin na lang natin, gawin natin isang pair muna. Yung mga ganon. When you need to conform. Okay? Don't pretend to be other people. Be yourself. Because people will see through you. Alam nila kung if you're pretending, people will see if you're lying, and so on. In fact, that's one of the things that interviewers are looking at when they interview you. Interviewers actually look at your eyes because involuntarily, meaning whether you like it or not, when you're lying, your eyes will always shift to the right yata. Tama to the right. If you're lying. So kahit na hindi ka nakatingin na ganyan, pag nakatingin ka, kaya nga dito ang Pinoy kasi may takot yan tumingin sa mata. Okay? But be you. Okay, pakatotoo tayo. Use the research that you learned about the company and about the industry, not so much on your knowledge, but at least you use it also in checking, in your personality check and everything that you need to know so that you can conform and make certain adjustments about yourself, but still keeping in line that you should be you. Also, it's very important for you to know what makes you unique. Bakit ikaw ang dapat kunin ng isang employer? Okay? And when you're talking about what makes you unique, it doesn't mean that you're supposed to compare yourself with others. Because you don't know kung anong pinagdadaanan nila. Hindi mo alam kung, sometimes kasi sinasagot ng mga tao, because I know that I can work more. What makes you think that the others are not? Focus on yourself. Focus on your character trait. Focus on the true you in order for you to find out what makes you unique. Okay? Next tip. We're halfway through. Develop your collaterals and your network. Okay, wait. When you're talking about collaterals in business, ito yung mga pamphlet, mga flyers, advertising, and so on. Anong kinalalaman nito sa personal branding? When you're talking about personal branding, these are the collaterals that you will need in order for you to achieve your personal or professional goals. So in other words, collaterals here could be your resume or your CV. Okay? It could be a company profile or any other documentation for the purpose of intent or for the purpose of putting up a business. A video introduction, if it is applicable. In fact, for example, one of the partners of PUP, Jobs 1 AP, they actually advocate creating video introduction so that some companies actually look at video introductions also. It really depends on the industry. An ad, especially for creating your own business, social media presence, and support groups. So these are your collaterals. Here's another reality. Businesses will check on your social media accounts. Totoo yan. Kahit na hindi nyo sabihin, chine-check namin ang mga social media accounts ng aplikante namin. Bakit? Because it will tell us another a side of the personality of an individual. For example, nag-apply ka sa isang trabaho tapos makikita namin sa social media mo yung mga dati mong pinagtrabahuhan, binash mo. Okay? It goes to show that if we accept you, we might risk the reputation of our company being bashed kasi basher ka. Okay? So, it can, I'm not saying it will, but it can affect people's perception about you. Kaya nga minsan, di ba, merong mga tao ayaw mo nang i-follow sa social media kasi lahat na lang ng pinost nila puro nega. Di ba? So that is a good way in creating your personal brand. And mind you, personal branding is very important nowadays. In forging connections, in creating your network of possible individuals, business partners, and so on. Importante yan. Bakit importante yan? Because down the line, when you're already working, yung network that you develop, they are the same people who might come to you and say, hey, naghahanap ka ba ng bagong trabaho? Meron ako dito, mas magandang ano. You know, it's putting you out in the market for better opportunities. So, if your collaterals, including your social media account, medyo negative and lahat, hindi ganun kagandahan ng mga nakapost, chances are they might not consider you kasi parang they find you intimidating and so on and so forth. Okay? Diba sa mga tatanong, paano yan? Ang social media, we have freedom of speech and so on and so forth. Freedom does not mean you can say anything and everything you want. You have to have tact. It's very important. Kailangan may tact. And you still have to have decorum. Okay? Next. Resume. Ito ang pinaka-importante sa mga naghahanap ng trabaho, resume. Do companies still give a lot of importance to resumes? Of course, they do. Although some companies, like for example, Concentrix, it's okay for you to apply even without a resume because we normally have, not normally, but it's a requirement from all of our applicants to create a Workday profile. It's a system that we're using in the company. And basically, you pretty much input your resume into something that's more that. Okay? So anyway, moving on. Resumes are very important. So you have to make sure that when you develop your resume, it is professional enough. I know that there are other talks about resume writing and so on, but always remember, review your contact details. Meron mga ibang tao, typographical error, nagiging more than the allotted number of numbers ang nilalagay sa kanilang contact information. Therefore, pag tinawagan kayo, hindi kayo matatawagan. Email address, make sure to check the spelling and so on. Now, the contact details also, if you have your phone numbers and whatnot, if companies call you, sagutin nyo naman. Okay? Para kay pa nagkaroon kayo ng number, para kay pa na dineclare yung number nyo, kung hindi nyo naman sinasagot yung tawag ng prospect na companies. Photos are, it could be required by some companies don't. Personally, it's okay if you don't put a photo because sometimes if you put a photo, you're opening things to be judged. Okay? Ay, hindi to ganun kagwapuhan, hindi ko muna siya, mamaya ko na siya i-process. I'm not saying that all companies are like that, but I have encountered people who are like that. So, if you're using your photo, make sure that it's very professional looking. Take time in taking your photos. Okay? Kailangan po bang grad pic ang ilagay? No, not necessarily. It's okay for you to put your grad pic if you're using that resume in around 6 months from the time you graduated. Pero pag nag-exceed na ng 6 months, move on na tayo. Alam natin kasi na iba ang itsura ng tao sa grad pic kaysa sa itsura mo harapan. Make sure that you look really well, presentable, professional, and so on. Okay? Huwag din tayo masyado tumangkilik ng mga, alam mo yung mga ID photos na pipicturean ka tapos photoshop na lang kung ano yung suot mo. Take time to really wear whatever it is that you have to wear because it's a good way for us to know how serious you are in applying. Work experience, education, training, certifications, skills and websites and social media are things that you can put in your resume. Is it okay for us, sir, to put an objective? Kasi meron mga ibang templates ng resume na may objective. Bahala kayo kung gusto nyo, pero tapatin ko kayo, hindi lahat ng mga kumpanya binabasa yan. Because we'd rather focus on the more important things, your credentials, those are the things that we have to look at more than the objective. Because the objectives, those are things that we can ask during the interview. Next. Eto na tayo. Look the part. Tip number 6. And Catriona Gray really looked the part. In fact, one of our advocacies, even from Binibining Pilipinas, is to be an advocate and promote Filipino textiles and Filipino fashion. And that's why kahit na mukhang Thailand yung suot niya, you still see touches of Filipino in it. I remember her day 1 attire during registration and fittings in Thailand. Yung bag niya had embroidery of the sampagita. There were touches of Filipinoisms in how she looked because she was Miss Philippines. She had to promote the Philippines even in the way she looked. Now, going back to personal branding, when we have to look the part, use your research on the dress code. Kung nakita mo na in-applyan mong kumpanya, itong mga tao dito, okay lang na naka-collared na t-shirt like what I'm wearing right now, pero naka-slacks, by all means, you can wear that during your interview. But here's my tip. Power dressing doesn't necessarily mean that you have to wear a corporate attire. Power dressing means that you have to look the part, if not one level higher than the part that you are applying for. So if you're applying for an entry-level position, come in looking like a supervisor. And it's not just also the way you look, but even your demeanor. Okay? There, like this one. Wear something one level better than what the average look goes. And dress according to your goal. Okay? Hygiene is very important. Usually when you are scheduled, ngayon kasi meron ng mga face-to-face na, marami ng face-to-face na interviews. If you're scheduled for an interview, arrive at least 15 or 30 minutes early than your schedule. Schedule mo kunyari is 9 a.m. Dumating ka ng 8:30. Bakit? Kasi pagdating mo, una mong pupuntahan after na mag-register ka sa front desk and so on, pumunta ka muna sa CR. Bakit? Tingnan mo sarili mo. Kasi syempre, nag-commute ka papunta dyan sa job interview mo. Baskil ka na ba? Jabar ka na ba? Naglalapot ka na ba? Diba? Are you very sweaty and so on? So at least you can come up and, look like you're clean and fresh for the part. Brush your teeth too, because totoo po yan na naaamoy po namin lahat ng mga ini-interview namin. It's good that we're wearing face masks now, but at least hindi mo rin naaamoy yung sarili mo kasi pag naka-face mask ka, naaamoy mo sarili mo kung mabaho ang hininga mo. So hygiene is very important. Dress according to your personality but learn to edit and conform. For example, what do you mean by that? Kunyari emo ka, ang hilig mo mag-itim. Pero yung ina-applyan mong trabaho, kailangan happy-happy ka. Okay? Where you can wear black but put a pop of color para you are still conforming to that particular customer, meaning the employer. Okay? So that you can still edit and conform. Dito ngayon papasok yung sabi ko na mahilig ka sa bololoy, lahat na lang ng piercings nasa buong katawan mo. but you're applying, you really want to work in a company that's more known to be conventional. Okay? Actually, I know a company, I won't say the name, but I know a company, it used to be a mother company of a previous company that I worked for. The company I worked for it was a BPO company. This is different from Concentrix. But the mother company of that organization was very conservative. So every time na meron kaming meeting doon, talagang kailangan mag-iba kami ng anyo. You know, you can still dress according to your personality. And I'm known when I was working there, I was known to be wearing scarves and a lot of scarves actually. I still have my collection of scarves here. And, you know, even when I was going to become more conservative looking, I would still use my scarf, you know, but I would arrange it in such a way that it looks more conventional, you know, because you want to dress, you know, na ikaw pa rin yan because you're being you, but you conform pa rin to the dress code. For virtual interviews, or any virtual meetings and whatnot, make sure that your space and yourself will set the mood. Okay? Right now, I'm not using a virtual background. I'm actually in my bedroom. I'm working at home. But I use this part of my room as an office thingy. I still have a TV here, but usually, you know, in some companies, may TV naman talaga kahit sa conference room. So it still looks like an office when you're looking at it in the camera, and you will still see my personality because I'm into things Asian. So I have my Nepalese elephant here. I have my salt lamp and so on. Pero tignan nyo, I'm just going to use this as an example. My talk today is with PUP, and I'm proudly displaying this plaque of recognition that Concentrix received from PUP. So, you know, set the mood when you're in virtual interviews. You know what, to be honest with you, I've been in job interviews. Ako yung nag-i-interview. Yung ini-interview ko, nakahiga sa kama, nakaganon yung phone. You know, that's not something that would turn us on and consider you for the job. Look the part, okay? Magbihis kayo, kahit tight shirt lang yan yung palitan nyo, naka-shorts kayo sa hindi naman nakikita yan sa isang virtual interview. But you have to look the part, because when you look the part, everything else will follow. Parang pati feeling mo, ay, handa ako sa interview. I'm dressed for it and so on. Okay? Now, let's talk about color. There is such a thing called the psychology of colors. And when we say psychology of colors, people who are into branding, they use it because colors mean a certain thing. So here's an example of such. For example, red means that you're passionate, you're active, exciting. And you know what? Companies are using this psychology of colors for their logo. Pansinin nyo, karamihan ng mga fast food chains sa Pilipinas at sa buong mundo may pula. McDonald's, Jollibee, Wendy's, may pula. KFC, Tokyo, may pula. Bakit? Because it's telling you that they're passionate, they're active. Bakit ang Coke pula? Kasi that is the kind of psychology that you get when you see that. Usually, pag pula yung nilagay mo, kinugutom ka, uuhawin ka. Kasi nga, very active ang life natin. Okay? Plus the fact that when you drink Coke, di ba nakakabuhay yan ng diwa? Active. Bakit yung... punta tayo sa eleksyon. Bakit naging kulay ni Leni Robredo yung pink? Look at the meaning of pink. Love, calm, respect. Which is basically her personality. Very calm. Kalmadong tao siya. Diba? Bakit ginamit yung green ni Sara, ng ating current Vice President? Okay? Because she wanted people to perceive that there's balance, growth, that she's going to restore things. Green. So going back to yourself, and this is something that you can search for it on Google, psychology of colors. You can come up with, you will learn these things. Which now goes to my question. What is the best color to wear in a job interview? The best color to wear is blue. Bakit? Because blue shows stability. It tells people that you are trustworthy. It shows people that you are confident and it shows people that you are calm. Kaya ako sinasabi na huwag mag-black kasi ang black, even though it's bold, it has power, but it also has mystery. Mapapaisip ang taan ba talaga? Diba? And these are things that are used by companies for their logos and so on. People actually pay other people to research. Kaya nga merong R&D, Research and Development Department, ang mga ad agencies. Because even in coming up with logo, hindi yun yung basta ito naisip ko, pak. Kailangan, and if you're going to come up with your own business sometimes, you can use psychology of colors because it can put a mindset to your customers. Okay? Point number 7. So you look the part, now talk the talk. When we say talk the talk, you develop your mindset, you know the purpose of your job, interview, your pitch, or whatnot. You know how to focus on your personality and your character traits. So you use that when you talk. In other words, when you are in a job interview, you focus on your personality. One thing that a lot of people may not know is that a job interview is not PBB. Hindi yan Pinoy Big Brother. Hindi ka dapat umiiyak. Meron kasi kaming mga nai-interview na tinanong pa lang namin, can you tell me something about yourself? Sir, I really need the job. Okay. Is that focusing on yourself? Focus on yourself when you're in a job interview. Your purpose when you are in a job interview is to sell yourself to the client or to the company. Kasi you're trying to convince us that we have to get you because you're the best person for the job. So when you're branding yourself in that sense, when you now have to talk the talk, you focus on yourself. You focus on your character traits, your professional character traits. Is it okay for you to talk negative about yourself? It's okay, kasi nobody's perfect. But always follow it up with an action plan. Kaya nga, in a job interview, you're asked sometimes, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses or areas of opportunity? It's okay to tell them what you're not good at. For example, you can tell them, well, actually, sir, I'm not good in using Excel, Microsoft Excel at the moment, but I am taking some courses right now so that I can have a better information, better knowledge on how to use it. See, you still made a negative statement positive, and that's branding, right? Be the star. In other words, when you answer interviews, focus on the situation, what was the task at hand, what was the action that you took, and what was the result. Here's the thing to a lot of you who are listening right now or watching this. Usually in job interviews, companies are now enforcing what they call the behavioral-based structured interviews, or BBSI. What it actually does is they ask you situational questions. Was there ever a time that you had to admit to people that you made a mistake? Okay, so you're now focused on a situation. So when you answer questions such as that, any situational question, focus on the situation. What was the task at hand? What was the action that you did? And what was the result? Don't make things up, ha? Huwag kayong magsinungaling. But focus on that. And be concise. Huwag nyo nang ikwento pa na parang isang nobela. Be honest. Okay? But, here's the big but. Know when to divulge and when not to divulge. There is such a thing as, ito palagi nating sinasabi, TMI, too much information. Di ba nga, ang goal natin minsan, especially when you're applying for a job, is to get the job. Pero ikaw mismo, pag sumasagot ka sa interview, para mong ginigis ang sarili mo sa sarili mong mantika. Okay? Huwag mo namang i-bash yung sarili mo. Okay? But, when you're being honest, in other words, don't pretend. But at the same time, don't divulge too much. Okay? Communicate well. This is very important. When you're saying communicate well, you have to develop your tact. And if you have to disagree, my sister would always tell me this, when you have to disagree without being disagreeable. Do not be confrontational. Be open. Okay? And very importantly, never, and I mean that in the best way, never tell your interviewer that you are nervous, because it will just tell us that maybe you're not prepared for the job. Okay? You have to be confident when you are talking the talk, because in that way you're selling yourself well to the people that, oh, alam nito pinagsasasabi niya, pinaghandaan niya to, maybe we should give him or her the job. Okay? And that's how Catriona Gray was and still is. She knows how to talk the talk. She knows how to leverage her advocacies. She knows when to say things to get the attention of people, when, she's very likable. And when she talks, all the more that you will like her, because she's very inspirational and aspirational. Do not sell yourself short. Okay? Don't sound desperate. I know that we need jobs. And right now, to be honest with you, in our economy, because of this pandemic and other things, employment is very hard. So number one, don't be too choosy. Number two, don't sound desperate when you are in a job interview. Instead, be confident. Focus on something that's more positive and use that as an anchor in your personality. Ika nga ng slogan ng Miss Universe, be confidently beautiful all the time. Now we go to point number 8, or tip number 8. Don't be afraid to take the plunge. It was hard for Catriona Gray. It was really a decision for her to join Binibining Pilipinas kasi nanalo na siya ng isang national pageant. And 2016, 2018 siya sumali ng Binibini. She really took time to reflect. But then she realized she shouldn't be afraid of failure. So she took the plunge. And that plunge was one of the most successful plunges that she had to take, because she won Binibining Pilipinas, she prepared for Miss Universe, and there she is. Here she is now, Miss Universe 2018. Okay? In your case, don't be afraid. Okay? Sometimes in stepping out of your comfort zone, that will open a lot of things for you. If I stayed in my box when I was young and be shy, I don't think I would be here talking to you, and hopefully you're learning a lot from me too. And that being said, we go to point number 9. Don't be afraid to evolve. Embrace change. If there's one thing common in this life na hindi magbabago, palaging meron, it's change. Change is inevitable. Change will always happen. At ika nga ni Laida Magtalas, sa pelikula nila ni Sarah Geronimo yun, si Laida Magtalas, sa 3 pelikula yun, di ba? With John Lloyd Cruz. Kailangan meron kang version 2.0. And more. You will always have a lot of versions of yourself. Which then leads to our last tip in personal branding, and something that we can learn from Catriona Gray. In fact, from her life in the pageant scene, learn to stand up, because you will fall many times. In 2016, Catriona Gray won Miss World Philippines, and she represented the Philippines in Miss World. A lot of people, in fact, karamihan ng tao sa buong mundo, ang talagang iniisip, siya ang mananalo ng Miss World. But she didn't. The winner that year was Puerto Rico, not her. And she wasn't even a runner-up, mind you. Nasa top 5 siya, pero hindi siya naging runner-up kasi 3 lang yung pinipili. Second runner-up, first runner-up, and Miss World. And there is this photo of Catriona Gray holding the Philippine flag close to her chest, and she was crying. But she learned to stand up, because that's inevitable. You have to be open to mistakes. Hindi lahat ng bagay mangyayari sa gusto mong mangyari. And that is actually, that happens more than according to what you plan. In fact, di ba, kahit sa pagkasama mo ng barkada mo minsan, di ba, yung mga nagiging successful na natutuloy na lakad, yung mga hindi planado. So in cases like that, learn to cope. Be open to mistakes, learn from your mistakes, and learn to assess yourself in areas of opportunity. In the same manner, be open to criticism. And the best person to criticize, the best person who can criticize yourself is yourself. If you are open to, reflecting on who you are. Harapin mo ang pagkakamali mo. Harapin mo ang pagkukulang mo. Not naman lahat ng tao mali eh. Minsan lang may kulang. Minsan lang, baka hindi lang swak sa kagustuhan ng tao yung ikaw. So learn to assess yourself. And assess yourself often. Huwag naman yung araw-araw ina-assess mo sarili mo, no? But learn to assess yourself. And according sa final answer ni Catriona Gray, see situations with a silver lining. Because there really is silver lining. There's still a lot of positive things about yourself, about a lot of things. Kahit na sabihin mong parang pinagtakluban ka na ng langit, guess what? After the rain will always come sunshine and things will go well. Throw your negative thoughts away, take action, and more importantly, move on. And it's hard actually. That's the hardest part to do. How do you move on from a rejection? Kasi nga minsan, di ba, pag i-reject ka ng nililigawan mo, nag-break kayo ng boyfriend o girlfriend mo, mahirap mag-move on ha. May kakilala akong tao, 3 taon na hindi pa nakaka-move on. And to think 6 na buwan lang silang mag-on. You know what I mean? But in every time that, that we fall in our life, there's this one line from a song from Aaliyah. If you don't know Aaliyah, you may research her. Sadly, she passed away a few years ago. But in one of her songs, one of the lyrics goes, "Dust yourself up and try again." And you can always try. As long as we're living, there's always hope. Okay? So that basically is it. Just remember that your personal branding can get you to your goals. And I hope that you learned a lot from the examples about Catriona Gray. Take advantage of the opportunities and work hard. And do not forget to be authentic. Magpakatotoo tayo. Do not lose yourself in the process and be you. And always have room to redefine yourself. So thank you very much. That ends my talk. I'm now open for any questions that you may have.
Maraming salamat, Sir JP. So, guys, pabigay naman ng isang masigabong palakpakan kay Sir JP. Okay, ayan sir. Meron na silang virtual clap.
Thank you so much.
Okay, may tanong po ba tayo para kay Sir JP? So alam ko, So alam ko medyo marami tayong tanong kanina. So nasagot ba ang tanong? Okay, or papakawala na ba natin si Sir JP? Okay na ba siya? Can you give me a number 3 if okay na si Sir JP at wala na kayong tanong sa kanya? Maraming salamat Sir JP again ha.
Thank you po. Thank you so much for having me over. Thank you to PUP for having me over again.
Okay, so guys, mukhang walang tanong sir. Mukhang maganda at interesante. Ayan.
Ito meron. Is it okay for us to tell our advocacies when we're being asked to introduce ourselves? Yes! Because it's a great way for people to understand who you are. And lalo na yan, companies, one of the thrusts of companies, if you're applying for a job, is really corporate social responsibility. That's one of the things that, Concentrix is one of them, for example. In fact, we even had an innovation competition, and then one of the winners, their advocacy was to help PWDs through an app. Concentrix is now going to help them create that app, and that's good. It's okay for you to share your advocacies. In fact, it's very admirable. Ang hindi maganda kung wala ka namang advocacy at gumagawa-gawa ka lang ng advocacy mo para masabi. You know what I mean? Okay, when you have an advocacy and you know that you are true to your advocacy, it's fine to share that.
Okay. So, maraming salamat, Sir JP. So, at least kahit papano, natulungan nyo ang aming mga kaisko at kaiska today. So, again, sir, maraming salamat. And I hope to see you again ng next month or after summer sa mga
Oo.
webinar pa namin.
Dapat kasi 'di ba a few weeks ago kaso nagkasakit ako noon, na quarantine po tayo. Alam na natin kung bakit.
Okay, sir. So pagaling ka at ingat-ingat lang din.
Thank
okay,
you also.
Sir.
Thank you everyone.
Okay. So guys, pabigyan si Sir JP ng isang heart. Ano ba to? Heart emoticons. Okay,
Thank
ayan na
you.
sir. Dumadami na. Okay, thank you sir at hindi na namin gagasgasin pa ang inyong boses para hindi lumalayan.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you sir at thank you sa pagpapaunlak sa PUP despite sa alam nyo na at kinaya nyo talaga. Okay
Kakayanin.
po.
All the PUP.
Thank you para sa PUP yan guys. Okay. Maraming salamat, Sir JP, at pahinga ka na po. And thank you po. I'll see you, sir. Sige po. Thank you po. Okay. Our next industry speaker naman po. Okay. Our next industry speaker is to discuss about plug tayo guys ha. Number 2. Ayaw niya mag-in. Okay, to discuss about resume writing and interview tips. Hindi ko na po masyadong patatagalin. Resume writing, cover letter, and interview tips. Let's welcome Tera System, Ms. Reggie Parolan, HR Officer of Tera System. Hi, Ma'am Reg.
Hi, Ma'am Jane. I'm so sorry for the rush. But thank you so much for inviting us once again. I hope that everybody will get something out of this later after my presentation. And I'm going to, I'd like to request permission to share, Ma'am Jane.
Okay na, ma'am.
Okay. Are you still awake? Can I see a number 18 in the chat box from everyone? And let me see how many out of 69 will respond to my question. If you're awake, I hope to see an 18. All right, so we're looking at 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 out of 65. So only 12 are still awake. Anyway, it's lunchtime, so I understand if you guys are hungry. I will proceed with my presentation. It's closely related to the presentation that you have heard earlier. It's called Marketing Yourself in the Corporate World. And you have already witnessed or learned how to brand yourself. Now, mine will be more specific in terms of the resume, the interview, and the cover letter. So you've heard that how do you market yourself? The first step is to know yourself. And now what you can see here in the screen is what I have had written when way back 2003 when I applied for a resume writer position. So my other profession, I am also a chef. That's my other profession. And my other profession is I am a resume writer. I've been writing for international clients, particularly the US and Canada, for the past 9 years. Tama ba yung math ko? Hindi ata. Mahina ako sa math eh. So I started in 2003 as a resume writer. And how did I try to know myself? Well, I wrote down my strengths, my weaknesses, what I am proud of, who am I to others, and this is quite a long list, and then I have right there what have I achieved, And this helped me find out what am I or who am I, the way I see myself. So if you guys can try to start writing down your strengths, your points for improvements, what you have achieved, what you have contributed, who are you to others, and this will help you knowing yourself. Why? Because as you have heard also earlier, when you know yourself, your skills, your projects, your strengths, and your points for improvements, you will know your value, you will know your selling points, and you will know how to market yourself. Because remember, you will be graduating soon and you will be competing against other universities and other graduates with different credentials. So it will be a jungle out there. And knowing yourself and knowing what you're capable of and what you're not capable of will help you in terms of your resume and your interview. Next, you should also know the tools that are available to you. You have the resume and cover letter, the interview, and other tools like your virtual portfolio, virtual resume, or networks like LinkedIn, Facebook. And then know the possibilities that you have or the opportunities that you are looking at. So for those who are graduates of political science and public administration, it's closely related. So these are the possible roles that you can land or you might be interested in once you graduate, or there will be those who will be totally diverting from what they have, from the course that they have graduated from. Now, it will be all up to you where your heart is, then that's where you should be. All right, next, the resume, the interview, and the cover letter. These are the focus of today's presentation. So the resume is your most important marketing tool. Why? Because before you get to an interview, companies will be reviewing your resume, and the resume creates a first impression of you, and it will start your career because through your resume, you will get to know if you will be invited for an interview where they will get to know you better. Now, there are the big no-nos that I have seen always. 9 out of 10 still have this. First, they put in their personal information. Remember, we have the RA 1017.3, which is the Data Privacy Act. You yourself must protect your privacy. Next, unprofessional or unrecognizable email addresses. If your email address is composed of your initials, then please make it more understandable because it's kind of difficult to know you by your initials. And then do not put your character references and contact details, and do not put any certifications, declarations, and signatures or references available upon request. Do not put this in your resume. So I have received already from the previous career talk, I have already received a couple of resumes and I've seen this, so I hope you will review. And then crowded layout or too much spaces. I am not a fan of 2-column resume for entry level because if you're not familiar on how to fix the spaces or the content, it's going to be too crowded. So this is the resume sample that I can show you. Now, for international resumes, pictures are not placed because it is part of the protection of the applicant, and it could also be grounds for racial discrimination. That's for international resume. So here in the Philippines, we're not yet to open about this, but just be prepared to have one resume without picture and another with picture. And then your resume should contain your aptitudes, what you can offer, and then your education, what makes you stand out, And then your academic projects, your researches or feasibility studies, dissertations, and then your internship, if applicable. And if you've noticed, I didn't put here the optional content, which is objective or profile summary, training, seminars, affiliation, certifications, or continuing studies. Well, the conditions for this are it has to be related to the position, recent or at least a year before the application, trainings or seminars that are 400 hours or more, or a month or two, or seminars that are 2 weeks or more. So if these are just one-day seminars, then I would not encourage you to put it. We just make sure that the front of your resume will contain your main selling points. Next, the interview will sell what is in the resume, what you have written, and it reinforces or corrects the first impression from the resume that you have submitted. And it can either make or break your career. So after passing all the tests, the exams, if you're not able to make it through with your interview, then it's not just meant to be. I will say that it's not meant to be. So employers want to know if you can do the job, if you are motivated enough to do the job, and are you the one they want to work with in a team. So sample questions, it's all about content. The ever famous question, tell me about yourself. It's only good for 1 to 2 minutes. In 1 to 2 minutes, you can give 6 to 10 sentences. I would suggest you to make a draft of what you would want to say, but please never memorize it. And then tell me about yourself is often asked because it sets the flow of the interview. If you give too much information, or if you give too less information, or we have the TMI, then the mood of your resume, your interview will be affected. You can follow this past-present pattern. This is suggested to answer the tell me about yourself. Past, you can include why you took up your course, what motivated you, what's the inspiration behind the course that you took, what's the story behind it, in 1 to 2 sentences only. And then present will be the skills that you have, or the achievements, or part of your personality that can be a part of your strength. And then we have the future rather, the career path that you would want to start with, the roles that you are looking at. Then you can use that to answer the question, tell me about yourself. And then this one you will have to figure out on your own, but I would suggest a sample answer to this. The question is, how will you apply what you have learned in college to the position you are applying for right now? You can go with the technical requirement or the skill set that they have been asking for, or that was written in the job interview or the job ad. And then go with the soft skills that you have learned in college or while doing your thesis or your internship. Example, if you are, let's say, for public administration, you are applying for a research analyst position or a marketing research analyst, then you can include your soft skills such as paying attention to details. How long have you been conducting research? And so these things can be very helpful when you answer this question. Then you have also sample questions would be, what are your strengths? So as it was explained earlier, prepare 3 of your strengths and then give them real life experience as examples. Use the PAR, problem, action, result pattern, or situation, task, action, results pattern. And then what are your weaknesses or points for improvements? Then prepare at least 3 and what you are going to do to improve or to correct it, or a particular situation wherein you have overcome this kind of point for improvement. Example for me, I would always answer in my interview, since I've been applying since I started to interview in 2003, I would always answer this question. One of my weaknesses, or one of the things I am improving on, is trying to wake up early because I sleep soundly. So I have already prepared 5 alarm clocks. If I need to wake up at 5:30, my first alarm is at 3, 3:30, 4, 4:30, 5. And so definitely by 5:30, I am very, very awake. And then I include also another proof of that. If you will ask my professors, or if you will ask my previous supervisor, if I have been late, they will say that I have been late for around 1 or 2 times a year only. And it's not because I didn't wake up on time, but probably there was a problem with the transportation, or there was an unexpected hindrance along the way, but not because I didn't wake up early. So that's how I would always answer, because even up to now, I still have a problem waking up early. So it's true, I still have my alarm clocks set at 3:30, 4:30 if I need to wake up at 5:30. So that's a thrill as it can get. Now you have your short-term goals 3 years from now. Mention your career goal and your personal goal, and then of course your prior experiences. They will be asking you about that. Now talking about your projects, please make sure to mention your roles and the description of the projects, and then of course your contribution to the projects. And if you have any questions for the interviewer, you can ask questions about what would be the next step, about the position, about the culture of the company, the growth, the opportunities, and the training that they can provide, or you will be getting from the company if you will be joining them. Now, interview must-dos: be professional. Please confirm your attendance. I have seen this in a lot of applications. We send them emails or SMS, and we do not get a reply. So sometimes this gives us an impression that either he's not interested, or they choose to ignore it, or they didn't receive it. So, but please confirm your attendance. If you're no longer available for interview or for application, please also tell or inform whoever texted you or sent you an email. And then please prepare and check if you're going for a virtual interview. Have a stable internet connection and mobile data. I'm very proud of one of the PUPians that I have interviewed just recently, and he attended the Encounters. He was part of the PUP Encounters webinar, and it happened that he lost he suddenly lost his internet connection, and then he came prepared. So he had his mobile data ready, and we were able to continue. So I'm very proud of him. He passed the initial interview already. Okay, and then smile only as needed. Just a soft smile, hindi kailangan yung labas ngala-ngala or labas gilagid. Yan. And then use the language you're comfortable with. Of course, if you're interviewing with a foreigner or for a BPO, then English is a requirement. But if for other positions, although English is a plus, but if you mess up only using English, then I would rather suggest that you use Taglish or Tagalog, whichever you're comfortable with. And then clarify questions and ask questions. Interview must not going in sick. If you are sick, please do not continue with your interview. It will not be a plus, but it will be an awkward situation for the interviewer, because you will be coming in sick and then you will be participating. So it's okay to ask for a reschedule if you are sick. Lengthy or very short answers. There was a question I asked an applicant. I asked him, how do you describe yourself as a team player? And then he said, part of his answer was, I believe that no man is an island and you need others to survive. So as a team player, I am blah, 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 blah. So it's already kind of using those quotes or those phrases are not advisable. I'd rather, it would be better if you go directly to how you are, how you have shown to be a team player. Okay. And then coming in unprepared, I know that you have already forgotten some of your experiences or activities or accomplishments during your first or second or third year, but it's still nice to review and as much as possible avoid the answers like hindi po kasi ako yung gumawa nun or nalimutan ko na po kasi nung second year pa po yun. Yan. So it's nice to look back and try to reflect or review, especially if it's related to the position you're applying for. And then ringtone and distractions. I know that you cannot control your neighbor's dogs or the chickens or the cats or the tricycles or the transport that are passing by you. But if you can have a voice modulation or a noise suppression app, or educate also or inform your family that you will be going for an interview and you need to have some quiet if that's virtual, okay? And then if you're going for an interview, please remember to silent your cell phones. And then choice of words, I've heard this a lot. They would say, ay, teka lang, or they would say, saglit, and they forget that they are already in an interview. And then forcing to speak in English, like I said, if you're not comfortable with English, then it's okay to go Taglish. Instead of speaking in English and you always say and having so many fillers, then it's not also a good thing. And then you have also expressions like actually, or in one sentence you would always say ano, bale ano, yung ano po, ano, ganyan. Or they would say and you know. So these are expressions that can be very distracting if you say it very often. Now, not all companies will ask for a cover letter, but if you will be asked to, the cover letter comes with the resume, and it conveys your personality and introduces you, and it gives an example of the relevant accomplishments, and it also calls to action. So the must-dos when you are preparing your cover letter is to research about the company. It has to be new content. Or if it is still in the resume, then try to use other synonyms. Meron tayong F7 or try to paraphrase in the cover letter. And then discuss your skills and review, especially for typographical errors. So this is an example of a cover letter. This is for a computer science student. So it highlights the skills, and then this is where you will highlight your abilities or accomplishments. Your soft skills can also be placed here. And then you will also have a call to action wherein you will be requesting or you're informing that you are expecting a call or an interview with them. Okay. And then of course the third step is to take a leap of faith. And if you do not pass the interview, then you can say it's not meant to be. It's just relationships. The relationships between companies also and applicants, there are those that are not really meant to be. You're meant to be for someone else. And then power dressing, this was already discussed earlier. I will just share with you what my mom did for me when I was applying during my first years as a professional. My mother would always prepare a small pack of which contained safety pins, thread, needle, masking tape, hairpin, button, and correction tape. Yeah. So all of these were prepared by my mom. The first time I saw it, I was like, okay, why do I need those? And then she just told me that it will come in handy. And true enough, there was one time I was going for my interview, and then the sole of my shoe got detached. So, tumawa yung aking sapatos. And, syempre, alam, punta pa ako kay Mr. Quickie. And so, that's the clear tape or the masking tape na clear. So, tinape ko na lang siya going to my interview. Although, thankfully, hindi naman siya napansin ni interviewer. Pero at least meron akong first aid DIY thingy from my mom. Another interview I went to, yung aking botones, siguro dahil sa nahirapan siya sa aking katabaan, biglang bumigay yung aking button. So, syempre, thankfully, nandyan na yung aking thread and needle na binigay ni mama. And then, meron din naman yung aking hairpin. So, syempre, pag sumakay ka ng jeep, parang walang patawad ang hangin. So, nandiyan ang aking hairpin at saka yung mga basics. So, if you're going out for a face-to-face interview, then at least have this first aid things for you para hindi ka magkaroon ng wardrobe malfunction. So, what was shared earlier were very helpful tips. I would just like to share those who came in for virtual interviews, marami pa rin new. When you say marami, let's say 5 out of 10 still came unprepared, wherein hindi pa nakapagsuklay, or oily si face, or si background niya hindi pa na-blur, or wala siyang virtual background, or hindi na set up. So, just be mindful of that. You're going for an interview and you will be expressing a reflection of yourself. Okay, and that ends my interview. My presentation. I am open, by the way, to mock interviews. I'll share in the chat box my email address wherein you can share or send me an email, and you can ask for a mock interview or resume advice. It's for free. From the previous webinars, I already received a few from PUP, even if they're not, because our company Tera system is in IT, we are looking for developers and programmers. So, but if you're not in the IT field, still feel free to send in your resume and request for a mock interview. I will be able to give you more interview tips because from my experience, from those who I have met from PUP, also from the previous webinars, just recently we had our mock interviews, and I'm very grateful that we had that time because I was able to help them out with their points for improvements, like their feelers, and then the answers to the questions that they have given. I've given them specific suggestions on how to answer it better because you have different personalities. I only gave you the general idea, but you have different achievements, you have different fears, strengths, contributions, experiences, and having a mock interview will help. I hope you take this opportunity.
Okay, ma'am. So, maraming salamat, Ma'am Reggie. So, ma'am, may tanong po si Michelle. Michelle, you can open your microphone po to interact with Miss Reggie.
Hi, Michelle.
Good morning, Michelle.
Hello, ma'am. Sorry po, medyo maingay yung background. I just want to ask po if it is okay to mention our past workplace or workplaces po when we are mentioning our past experiences po in our cover letter.
Yes, if it is related to the position you are applying for. Like for me, I have 2 cover letters. One is as a chef and one is as one as a chef, one as an English tutor, and one as office administrator. So, or HR officer. So in my achievements in my cover letter for the chef position, I put in my past experience or what I have achieved during my past experience, at least 2 or 3 years past. So let's say today is the year is 2022. 2020 onwards, pwede mong ilagay. Pero kung masyado ng pag 3 years and up na, hindi na siya ganun ka-relevant. So just at least 2 years before the current date. Or rather, sorry, 2 years after the current date.
Maraming salamat, Miss Michelle. Okay ka na ba? Okay na yung sagot?
Yes po, ma'am. Thank you po.
Okay, thank you.
Michelle, send mo ko ng email. I-review natin resume mo at cover letter. Kung sakali ka pa lang ang first time na hihingi ng cover letter advice.
Okay, thank you. Opo, may tanong pa po ba tayo kay Miss Reggie, guys? Pwede kayo mag-raise ng hand or you can use the chat box natin.
Ay, sorry. So, this is my email address. Okay, and this is my number. But when you send me an SMS, please introduce yourself that you are from one of the PUP PNs from the webinar, because I usually ignore numbers that are not familiar to me. Okay.
Okay, so guys, may tanong pa tayo kay ma'am or maliwanag pa sa sikat ng araw yung discussion ni ma'am? I hope marami kayong natutunan. So, pag-give naman ng isang virtual clap, isang bagsak para kay Ma'am Reggie. Ayan ma'am, madami na. Okay. So,
yes, lunchtime na daw.
Opo. In behalf of the Alumni Relation and Career Development Office, maraming salamat, Ms. Reggie. By the way, guys, the link for the digital certificate is already posted at the Zoom chat natin, and it was already posted sa PUP Career Center Facebook page. So mamaya meron pa tayong dalawang industry partner who will be with us today. So stay tuned. So maraming salamat po sa ating mga PUPians, sa ating mga ka-ISCO at ka-ISCA, especially our host, College of Business Administration and College of Political Science. Nakikita ko yung mga dati kong estudyante nung last summer, nandito sila. Okay, so may mga estudyante rin po tayo from branches and campuses. Maraming salamat from PUP Parañaque, PUP San Juan, PUP Lopez, and PUP Lopez Institute of Technology, PUP Mulanay. So, good morning at maraming salamat. So, San Pedro and Santa Rosa, meron ding Santa Maria. So, ma'am, good morning. Pwede pa daw po bang magtanong? Yes, Lambert. Ano pong tanong? Pwede pa raw. Yes, Lambert, pwede ka na mag-open ng Pwede ka na mag-open ng mic mo?
Santa Maria.
Lambert.
About mamaya daw. Okay.
Okay. So, about po mamaya. May bang? Yes po. Opo. So, may mga certificates din po mamaya. Okay. So, the link for evaluation form is already posted sa Zoom chat natin. At, workable na po yung link natin, guys. Naka-close lang po siya kasi hindi pa po tayo nag-i-end ng ating webinar. Okay, guys. So, in behalf of the Alumni Relation again, ma'am Reg, maraming salamat and I hope to see you again on our next session for the Career Development Webinar. At maraming salamat din sa ating mga ka-ISCO at ka-ISCA na nandito ngayong umaga. So guys, alam ko marami kayong natutunan at na pwede nyong baunin sa inyong pamamayagpag after graduation. Okay guys? So, yung form po, it will be, check ko nga. Okay, so yung form is workable na guys. Nakiklik ko na po siya. So, bear with us lang po sa form. So, again, this is Professor Jane Pulma from the Alumni Relation and Career Development Office. Maraming salamat sa inyong lahat. At I'll see you again later. So, ito na ang ating himno ng PUP.
Ang taglay, PUP, aming kamay,